Coach, you had all five starters in double figures. Do you think the continuity is starting to kind of get there with this program? Or
I think if you just look at the box scores after every game, that's pretty much what you see. Same number of shots. Nobody's taking 40 shots a game like you see across the country. We're not that kind of team. We have too many kids that can score the ball. They're sharing the wealth. And again, double figure scores by all of them. I just think the more we get on the floor, the better we'll get. I am perturbed that we allowed basically a 27, 30-point game to be cut to 17. I'll take responsibility for some of that with substitution. But how do you ever develop them if you don't get them out there? How do you ever develop them if you don't challenge them? How do you ever teach them if they don't get out there? But number one field goal percentage defensive team in the country, honestly, that didn't faze me. I know how good we are on the offensive end. I knew we would score a lot of points. We've done it consistently. The problem that's just a mystery to me is how we give up this many points. And get in the film room and teach and keep showing them.
Hey, Coach. On the offensive end, y'all are 14 to 24 from three the last two games. Is that creating different looks, better looks, or is it just players getting more comfortable?
No, it's just it's within what we do. Angel will find you reversing the ball, sharing the ball, dribble penetration, find the open player. Look, you live and die by the three. I'm not that kind of coach. We've got people that can score at all positions. But if you leave us open, we're going to light you up. There's not a person on that floor, and that includes Poa, that can't shoot the three ball. And we just don't have to.
Coach, how effective was Aaliyah Del Rosario tonight, and what do you like about her the most, and what do you want to see from her more going forward?
I want, when she comes in the game, not to have her foot on the free throw line and give them another shot. I want her to come in there confident. I want her to come in there physical. I want her presence to be, I'm 6'5" and I'm the biggest person on this floor, and you're going to know about it. Don't play soft.
Coach, when it comes to Angel as a passer, she mentioned that she's always been a good passer, but just how have you seen her kind of hone in on that craft even more, being unselfish, willing to give the ball more to her teammates?
Well, I saw it last year because she was doubled and triple teamed a lot. If you watched us play, Angel's not being doubled and triple teamed, and she's still finding open players. When she misses her first 3 or 4 or 5 shots, Angel's going to figure out a way to get to the foul line. And then if she doesn't, she's going to figure out a way to find you open. And she's really, really, she's just really unselfish. And she doesn't have to be, but she is.
Hey, Coach, y'all shot 32 free throws today against a team as good defensively as this one. Is there an extra emphasis on coming out aggressive and getting to the free throw line more?
We've been doing that all year. That's a big part of our game, and it's not like you put in an offense and go, man, we're going to get to the foul line in this offense. It's those players. They're just capable. They're strong. They can take you off the dribble. They can post you up. They can face you up at the post. It's just ballers, and they just have the ability that they're going to get in there and they're going to bang with you. They're going to make you guard them, and if they don't score the ball, most of them get fouled. That is not something that we just work on. It's just 5 kids that are talented and can do that.
Kim, you played 7 players pretty much until the very last. Once again, are you at this point in the
Not
season?
worried about it. How many did she play? 7.
Yeah. No,
It
actually wasn't my
is
question.
what it
though.
is, Scott. People are worried about depth. Look, to interrupt you, if it's all about depth and if it's all about whatever, I want to play more players. But that playing time comes in practice, and that playing time comes with making me confident in you. And Del Rosario got in the game early. We go 7 deep about right now, and I'm still looking for that 8th player.
That's where I was going with the question. It was, do you hope, 2 months into the season, that you can still
I hope.
find an eighth?
I hope. I mean, you never give up hope. But losing KP, losing Samaya, you got to deal with it. And we can go 7 deep, but I really would like to go 8 and 9.
Again, this is kind of off the subject question, but Nick Saban announced his retirement yesterday. Just curious if you ever had any run-ins with him, just your thoughts on just a coach that coached for as long as he did and impacted young kids' lives, as, just like every other coach.
I was actually on the phone with a dear friend who is a huge Alabama person. And I was getting a text message from my son and his roommate, Joe, on my staff. And I couldn't follow her talking and their text messaging. And I said in the text to them, "What are you talking about?" And they sent a post, Saban's retiring. So in that instant, I'm thinking, how am I going to tell my friend this on the phone? I'm telling you, a die-hard. And when I did, it was just dead silence. And she said, "That's why my kids were trying to FaceTime me and said, 'Are you sitting down, Mom?'" So I said, "We'll talk later," and I hung up. So to answer your question, I've never met Nick Saban other than to shake his hand at an SEC meeting. I went out of my way to shake his hand. Never met him, never had a conversation with him. I am a huge fan from afar. If I had to tell you why, he's a winner. He's a winner. He's a leader. He's a leader of people in a locker room, and you don't have to like him. Half the people in the world don't like me. But he's a leader. He knows how to win. He went out on his terms, had an unbelievable season with probably a team that overachieved, and he's going to be missed, not just in football, but from a coaching perspective. You watch coaches, and I've watched him for years. I've read his books, and yeah, that's what I think of him, is much respect, and I wouldn't want to be the person that follows him, right? But did he follow, who followed Bear Bryant? Ray Perkins. And how many coaches after Bear Bryant until Saban got there? It's got to be at least 5, huh? 5 or 6. Expectations. The bar is up here at the University of Alabama. And I think all coaches should go out like he did. Honestly, some coaches don't know when to step away. And boy, he did it with class.
Got time for a couple more in here.
You said you felt like you were going to score. What was it, a talking point or a motivational thing that, hey, they're the best defense in the country, they were giving up 49 points a game or whatever it was?
Well, I mentioned it in the we mentioned it in the scouting report, but we also mentioned in the scouting report that LSU teams and Kim Mulkey teams are usually in the top in the country in field goal percentage defense, trying to make them understand we got to get there. We got to get there on the defensive end of the floor. We're giving up too many points. But it wasn't like our offense against your defense. It wasn't anything like that. It was a teaching moment that they're doing it. Why can't we do it? We never talked about our offense. I just don't have that worry with this team. And I always have said we may have bad nights, but all those kids can score the ball, and we're going to run things for all of them. And how many games have they scored? 5 of them in double figures, 5 of them getting the same amount of shots. It's got to be a lot. There's been a few where we've had, I can remember Kayla's 42. I can remember Morrow scoring against Virginia. a lot of points. But if everybody's healthy and everybody's, doing what they did tonight, you're gonna score a lot of points. And you're scoring a lot of points with very few people playing, right? So, God, could you imagine, Scott, if I had 8 or 9, I might score over triple digits every game, right? I doubt it.
Finish with Reed and then Scott.
Coach, you mentioned, you want to improve defensively, and there's a lot of work to be done on the defensive end. But Texas A&M shot 12 free throws tonight. Is that, a sign that you may be headed in the right direction?
I don't even look at that. See these little highlights? First thing I'll look at is field goal percentage defense. We want them 39.9. We let them get 40.2. The second thing I look at is points scored. We want to hold them to 68 points or less. So we give up that 3 at the end. How many times have we done that this year? So we went up 27 and we had 3 turnovers in a row right there in front of our bench. You have to control the game at that moment. You have to control the game. No clock, no score, know when to run, know when to set it up, know how much time to use, know when to reverse the ball. And it starts with me and it starts with the point guard. And you're dealing with a point guard that's never played that position. And so I have to keep teaching. You had one of the turnovers. Then we had another turnover. Because, Reed, that's going to matter in a game when it's a 1-2 point ball game. It's going to matter. Because there are teams out there that can score the ball just as good as we can score the ball.
Final question with Scott.
You mentioned the point guard, and to the question I asked Haley earlier, how do you think she's progressed in what you've asked her to do? And is it that big an ask as it seems to have her change her game to run the point now?
Well, let's back up. Haley Van Lith shot the ball in abundance at Louisville for whatever reason. She had to, that was their game, whatever. Haley gets in the transfer portal and comes here knowing what we have. So that told me first that she's got some unselfishness in her. She's a very confident kid. But thirdly, you're going to sacrifice your comfortable position to come and try to learn a position that we need and a position that will help you go on and have a pro career. It just happens to be the most difficult position on the floor. And that's not easy. I think she's done everything we've asked her to do. I think that she will get better and better at the little things that you need to do as a point guard, but it won't be from lack of trying. The kid plays hard. I think defensively, we just have to teach her that, channel them to a sideline, because she's going to give you effort. Sometimes you can give me the most effort, but it's wasted energy. I can help you if you just slow down a little bit and get angles. And I think, I keep telling myself that's a part of our problem on the defensive end, is that we don't take angles, we don't help, and then we don't help the helper much. And just keep playing, keep getting better. Get our dream team back here next week when school starts and guard them every day and see if we can't do just a little bit better. But now don't let me be a Debbie Downer, okay? But that's what coaches do. You win, but you got to fix some things because you know what lies ahead. You know where you want to go and what you want to do.